peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much. As you know very well, today in Kenya is a Heroes Day. It's similar to the Heroes Day across in many African countries like Zimbabwe, Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, South Africa, and many other countries. Today is a Heroes Day in Kenya, and we shall be celebrating. We shall be close. We do not want to miss our international viewers, and we don't, because you have sanctions. The people of Zimbabwe have sanctions next Friday, a protest against sanctions, and the whole Africa, including Kenya, will take part in saying no to sanctions. This morning, we shall be crisscrossing, and then between the Heroes Day, when the President of the Republic of Kenya starts speaking, we shall go back to his and listen, because some of the things he will touch Africa. So in Kenya, we are today witnessing, celebrating the Heroes Day. I was telling my colleagues that in Zimbabwe, you have dedicated a full Heroes Acre where you bury your heroes, where functions of heroism. You don't cross that acre if you were not in the liberation struggle. If you haven't excelled in patriotism. So I was saying Kenya in the future should also have a Heroes Acre, a place where we rest our heroes, where we make our heroes remain united. As we speak right now in Kenya, the bishops are praying. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta is already in the stadium. He has inspected the guard of honor. This morning, we cross over to our topic, Zimbabwe, with or without sanctions. My panel is the usual panel: Abigail Mupambi, Magaza, Saxon, Professor Onyari, Daniel Wesonga, and Miriam Ogutu in the general headquarters of Punchline Africa Television. We shall be later on joined by Reverend Musundo, who will be coming to talk to us if he's available. No problem. If he's not available, we can get him some other time. But he said he will come at 11. Hallelujah. The reverends, he keeps time. So I don't know whether he's available. If he's available, fine. If he's not, tell him I'm coming and I will be there at the end of this month. Therefore, we shall be able to exchange blows of religious theology. So, thank you very much, Saxon Zima, Professor Onyari, Magaza, Abigail Mupambi, and Miriam Okutu. You can try your microphones now.
All right, a very good morning to our viewers and also to our panelists there from Zimbabwe and also from Kenya. Of course, as Dr. has rightly said there, our topic of the day is what does Zimbabwe need to do to move the economy forward with or without sanctions? And we know that the Zimbabwean economy has been suffering now for quite some time. And of course, President Mnangagwa has been trying to do every best he can to ensure that the country is brought back to the right track to recovery and also to stabilize. Even the rate of inflation there is just on a skyrocketing rate that has made it very difficult for Zimbabweans there. And we shall be looking at some of the reports there that has been highlighting the financial difficulties there in Zimbabwe. But we know that the sanctions really are just part of the problems that have really affected the economy of Zimbabwe. So we are trying to look at today, is there a way to find a solution to these sanctions, whether they're there or not? Is there a way that Zimbabwe could still, revive its economy and just find a way around it? And, through other partners across Africa and also across the world who will be willing to come in and help Zimbabwe. So that is the conversation that we will be advancing today. And as Dr. already there has introduced our guests, perhaps we will bring them one by one and they can introduce themselves. Abigail Mpambe, while they make their first remarks on the topic. So Abigail Mpambe, we'll start with you.
Abigail, take the mantle.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you can kick start the topic because we don't have much time. Abigail, hammer the topic. Let's hammer it.
Thank you so very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you. Are you well?
Doctor. Yes.
Are you
Thank
well?
you, Doctor. Thank you, fellow panelists. My name is Abigail Mpambe. I'm a human rights defender and a civic society leader from Zimbabwe. And of course, I will go straight into my reflections and the remarks around the topic, what Zimbabwe needs to do with or without sanctions. And of course, with sanctions, we need to begin to look at what we call sanction-basting measures, which include a collective voice against these sanctions, like we are seeing in the next few days. Zimbabwe and Africa at large, we will be speaking with one voice against the very same sanctions. And of course, we need to look inwards as a country. We need to build our self-confidence that we can do it, looking at what we have currently, particularly if we look at the land issue. We are approached with the 2020-2021 farming season. There is a lot we can do to capacitate ourselves as Zimbabweans, other than just crying foul. We can actually make use of our land, make use of the human resources available, forget about the social media crying foul without taking action. So I think we can do that. Coming on to the issue of reviving our own industry, I think that we need also to retire this much high appetite for imports, both as the public and the private sector. Of course, we must be led also by the public officials. We must also need to focus on getting some of these products that are locally available here in Zimbabwe. We promote our own industries ahead of the imports, and we make sure we reduce our appetite for imports so that we strengthen our own industry. In a nutshell, I think it's all about ourselves, believing in ourselves as Zimbabweans first. The issue of attitude shift, changing our attitude for the positive, and of course begin to speak positive about our country.
All right.
That's also a way on the other side of basing these sanctions, because sanctions can only rely on negativity. Sanctions can only be justified for as long as there is a negative cloud which is covering our country, and of course it's being supported by some of us. I think in a nutshell, this is what I can say for now about what we should do, we need to do as Zimbabweans with or without sanctions.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much there, Abigail. And now, Mr. Maganza, a couple of issues there that Abigail has brought up in relation to how possibly another option that Zimbabwe can beat the sanctions with or without and just find a way to revive its economy. And she brought up the issue of the country looking inward and perhaps a time for the government to perhaps create an environment where the local industries can be revived so that Zimbabwe can increase in its local production to meet the demand. But the question is, Mr. Maganza, does Zimbabwe has the capacity to do that right now owing to the other factors that are considered?
Thank you very much, Abigail. Thank you very much, panelists. Thank you very much, Doctor. Definitely, Zimbabwe has got the capacity to carry out any form of reform which might be needed so that we will uplift the economy of a country. You see, we cannot only talk of the political issue without the economy, because the economic issue is the one which brings bread on the table. And so, firstly, as a country, I am of the opinion that even our president is already or has already started or kicked the ball, or the ball is already running on the turf to have ease of doing business. And then how can we implement the ease of doing business in Zimbabwe so that at least we will be able to attract foreign investors who have bought or who are interested in investing in Zimbabwe despite the sanctions? Because we know there are people who are out there who are interested in investing in our country. Firstly, we need to have a one-stop shop for business people to register for work visas and common registration. And then this is being done. All we need is to remove those corrupt elements from the system who stifle government's efforts. Because President Mnangagwa said that we need to have a one-stop shop where all businesses come and register and get their permits without any hindrances. But of course, we might find out some individuals here and there, actually civil servants, who might try to get kickbacks from those who intend to do business. And so that will be thwarting the efforts by government, by the president, to make sure that at least Zimbabwe is a suitable destination for investing in. Mm-hmm. Right. Secondly, I feel we need to have what we call user-friendly policies. And then those policies are being created by government, which attract investors. But we should also make sure that those policies should also not compromise on the country's sovereignty. Because at times we might create some policies which will benefit the investor at the expense of us as a country and its citizens.
All right.
Peace and stability. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Go ahead.
Can I continue?
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes. We have got peace and stability in Zimbabwe, which means investors are very skeptical, especially in investing in a country where there's political bickering. For example, it's what the Movement for Democratic Change through its leader, Nelson Chamisa, is doing, whereby every time they call for strikes, they call for sitting, whatever methods they can use to derail the process of, so that investors fear to come and invest in Zimbabwe. And so we also feel that even our education system is trying as much as possible to make sure that at least, despite these sanctions, we have got created, last time we talked about what we call STEM here in Zimbabwe, which talks of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Meaning to say, if our students will be equipped in those areas, they will be able to use the skills which they have acquired in institutions of higher learning through innovation hubs. And then they apply that knowledge on the Zimbabwean situation, and then we'll be able to develop our own country. We also need relationships, that is both political and economic, with other friendly countries, so that those countries which are friendly with us, we should be able to work together and they can come and they invest here in Zimbabwe. We can also talk of those companies which are still in operation, but there are some of those countries which are under sanctions. And so there is an opinion that Russia has applied that method and it was successful, whereby instead of the government helping out those firms which are under sanctions, they can make use of the banks, whereby those companies, they go and apply for soft loans from the banks. Because if the government gives direct to the firms, an issue of corruption is likely to occur. And so, which means the right beneficiaries won't be able to get it. But if it is through the banks, people know that whoever will have applied for the loan knows that I'm supposed to pay back the loan. And so, which means it will be a revolving loan, which will help other businesses, and then they will succeed. Right. We also need to to retain domestic control, and also we have our foreign policy independence, meaning to say our country should not be forced to compromise with the West. Because the moment we are forced to compromise in the West on how to do business and how to manage our country, which means we have got ourselves into a quagmire. Right. And lastly, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
And lastly, we also have macroeconomic stability. It can be achieved through keeping our government deficit low, which government is trying through the Minister of Finance, who is Mr. Mtuli. And so that is also keeping our government debt levels as low as much as possible. And then lastly, we know that sanctions have a long-term cost on a country. And so it is paramount for Zimbabweans to unite and work together towards the busting of sanctions, and also focus on concerted economic activities, such as production of local goods, as Abigail Pambi has said, production of local goods for local consumption, instead of us importing, as well as using our own engineers in the manufacture of machinery, using local resources, and only importing what we are not producing. Rest in the case.
All right,
thank you very much, Miriam Zore, for coming in. I have been recording. I am the secretary today to take all the notes that from Abigail to Mr. Magaza and to others. So I've taken points. Points that were raised by Abigail are very, very important. Do we take a lot of external imports? Do we generate our own products? There are products in Zimbabwe that can be sourced, that can be sold in Kenya. They are not available in Kenya. We need them in Kenya. Does Africa trade itself by itself to beat sanctions? We have become the book of lamentations. We have lamented over these sanctions. As we go on 25th of October, we must change. Someone, please control your phone. There's quite a lot of interference.
They're working on it from the studio. Continue, Doc.
Yeah, production, please. My system picks anything right from Harare International. That should be Sheraton Hotel. Used to be. It looks like a Reverend Obadiah Musindo is in Sheraton Hotel. I hope he has put a screen for us to be seen there. Anyway, I am happy if the screen is seen by. It is now called Rainbow Hotel, Simba Hotel, Rainbow. Abigail, I think you'll update me when I arrive there. Is that not Sheraton? Because I can see back there. I will never miss somewhere. I'm very good at geography. So thank you very much. I can see Reverend Musindo is in his famous place where we used to meet in the year 2000, 2001, 2000. So thank you very much, Reverend Musindo, for coming. But Abigail raised very serious points. Mr. Mangaza has raised serious points. One shop, one stop, one stop. We have a lot of bureaucracy in Africa. We make people fill forms as if they are not Africans. Someone is even asking you about your father's death. When did your father die? Is he present? Most of you who have gone to South Africa looking for visa, you are asked, bring your father's death certificate or whatever before we give you a visa. My father is not going to come from the grave in order to go to South Africa to look, to even take you money. You are not giving me money to go there. I am paying my money. And more so, I'm coming from a country which is functioning. So why do you ask me to bring in my father's visa So this red tape that Magaza talked about, the government in Zimbabwe should organize a one stop of all this, like a Rwanda. What has Rwanda done? The Rwanda government has one stop. You don't need to go to Rwanda. I want to tell you, I don't need to go to Rwanda to get a tender. I can be in London. I got my tender in transporting goods from Rwanda to Mombasa on internet. I was in London, I applied. And what they told me was they only want to see my 2 trucks, the 40-feet container, take them there for inspection. That's all. But all the paperwork was done on paper, on internet. And I have never seen the secretary, the permanent secretary, the minister of Rwanda, of Interior, who gives us the chairs to export, to carry their chairs from Rwanda up to Mombasa to go to Brussels. He has never he doesn't know me. But in most of the African countries, before the minister signs the document, he wants to see you. I don't know what you mean. You know what I'm trying to come to. He wants to see you. The minister would like to see you. Can you come to meet the minister? You are meeting him for what? He's meeting you to frustrate the trade. The trade will not work. That is what has killed Africa. We have sanctions against Zimbabwe for over 20 years now. But time has come for Zimbabwe to start changing the course to beat these sanctions. You must beat the sanctions. You must change the course by looking for avenues on how you are going to trade with your African partners. There are so many banks in Kenya that would like to trade with Zimbabwe. You don't need to publicize that I'm trading with a bank in Kenya. You need your goods to be transacted. You need the dollar. How many trade delegations have come from Zimbabwe to visit Kenya, for example? I bet there is none. There is none. Yes, there is none. It means we come to the policies. What are the policies of the Ministry of Finance? What is the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning? What have they planned for this country to expand, to beat sanctions? Don't lament. You see, there is one thing that I want to emphasize here. And I want Philip Chabata to come on the screen so that he looks at my face as I talk about it. You have lamented too many years. Let's not lament anymore. Time is coming for America to beg us. They will beg us, but we shall not beg them. If you didn't know, the bad times of America are coming.
Very fast.
The only problem you have, if you have left an ambassador, you see, do you not see the very big problem of your country? Your country, you have a big problem, and it is only me who can tell you here today. What can you do to me? What? I'm going to tell you. What will you do? What? I'm going to tell you. Musindo is here.
Who ran you out of town?
I can't. You can't run me out of town. I'm too big. You must bring several traders to run me out of town. The only problem that Zimbabwe has had is good heart. with black ambassadors of United States. Can I repeat that so that you get me clear today?
Yes, sir.
That man, every time Zimbabwe has a black ambassador, we have more problems. And I will quote for you. You are now playing with a black guy there. That guy wants to tell the whites that he's working so hard. You hear me? So he's doing everything. It is like a Jamaican policeman arrest.
All right. We seem to have lost Dr. Matsanga there. Doctor, I don't know if you can hear me. We seem to have lost.
Correct.
Okay.
It is like a Jamaican policeman arresting Dr. Matsanga in London. The Jamaican policeman will not release me. He would like to make sure that he takes me to Scotland Yard to tell the white policeman that I got him in order to get a promotion. Are you getting the logic I'm trying to bring?
Yes, incarcerating one of your own.
Yes. But if you have made a simple mistake that you pass the traffic light, the white policeman in London will tell you tomorrow, don't do that. Please go to work or take your child quickly to school. But a Jamaican, a Nigerian who has entered the police, these days we have Ugandans. Actually, we now have even Zimbabweans working as policemen in London. They will take you to the white man to make sure that they fix you. It is the same as that ambassador, that American ambassador, the black guy there. I want to thank Chinamasa for telling him off. Comrade Chinamasa, you have the same spirit as Matsangas. Thank you. If I'd been in Harare, I would tell him off. I would even tell him worse things. You know, this guy, the ambassador in Harare thinks that he's white. He's forgotten that he's molesting the black people. And pretends to be doing what? Why do you stop the people of Zimbabwe from exporting their diamonds? Allow Zimbabwe to export their diamonds freely. They will not beg you for a penny. They will be able to buy their medicine without any restriction. They will do that. So the problem here is identify the problems. Abigail and Madaza both brought very important problems, points on top, and the suggestions. And these suggestions must be part and parcel of the new package as we as Africans, as we face the new administration that will emerge in America. I want to be very frank and tell you frankly, if you didn't know, that if America has Mr. Biden, Joe Biden, as the president, we have a problem. We have a problem. And believe me or not, anybody who has studied international relations, I'm not like a Professor Jonathan Moyo, who writes because he wants George Soros to thank him and give him a kiss. You know, there are some men who want to be kissed. I am not. I am a real man, African. You know that, Abigail? Abigail, I'm a real African guy. So, I don't want this kiss from any white person thanking me. I put it as it is. If we have if we have Joe Biden coming to power from November, prepare for worse. Do you know the government that always gives NGO money? Do you know that Tendai Biti is praying that Joe Biden wins the elections? Did you know that? So we must now, between now, impress the new administration. The only person who is going to come in the new administration who can help me is my sister, Susan Rice. Chabata knows she came to Zimbabwe with me. We are together. We have worked together on several projects. But the rest of the Democratic Party is pro-sanctions. They will even increase more. They will increase more. And let His Excellency President be aware of this. They will increase more. The Democrats will increase more sanctions against Zimbabwe. So time has come to change tactics. We must change the position. We must change the direction. We must start fighting very vigorously against all forms of subjection, of oppression that are coming as a result of sanctions. How do we change the course? Is by coming to Africa, by Africa, with Africa. You get my point?
Yes.
The motion should be to Africa, by Africa, with Africa. Muachana na hii, just forget this. Kenya has a lot of milk which goes. There is a plane of Kenya Airways that comes to Zimbabwe almost empty with few passengers. Why don't we utilize it to be carrying milk from here every morning? Why don't we utilize it to deliver bread every morning? President Uhuru Kenyatta, my dear friend, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I am now telling you with confidence, we'd like to go and invest. He's a businessman. He's a businessman. And nobody should lie you that, oh, I'm doing this. No! Forget all these stupid businessmen who run around there to cheat you. Let the government package itself and deliver. Come and say, we want to do business with Kenya. The Kenya government, the goods that are in Kenya, will help the people of Zimbabwe. I want to tell you how you will help. Both of you were colonies. I was not a colony. No. I'm not. I'm like the Orange Free State. I was protected. Zimbabwe and Kenya were colonized. Ian Smith did not think he would live. Just as it is here, the white settlers did not know that they would not live these good houses. But here we are. You have the similar conditions. You have winter. My country has no winter. Kenya and Zimbabwe are the only African countries, interior, that have winter. Matsanga's country has no winter. That's why when Kibati comes to Kampala, he doesn't go away. When Mangaza comes to Kampala, does not want to leave Kampala. Tanzania had no winter. Zimbabwe has winter. So you have, in a nutshell, to leave you to contribute, because I wanted to tell you people who have just come on the show. Here in Kenya, we have a very important day. That's why you see me wearing the national flag of Kenya, and then I've put on this one of Zimbabwe. Today is the Heroes' Day. You call it Heroes Ekar Heroes' Day. Now, today in Kenya is Heroes Day. President Uhuru Kenyatta is in one of the countries,
Counties.
and I don't know whether they are even dancing in Jerusalem. It looks like they are dancing in Jerusalem in one of the studios. So we shall break and show you a bit of Kenyatta dancing in the stadium on the Uhuru Day. On Mashujaa Heroes Day, so that you can also see President Uhuru Kenyatta live from Nairobi. So we shall debate. Mangaza, you have done your points. Abigail, you have done your points. I don't know whether Obadiah Musindo is online. I don't see him. Has he arrived? Is the Reverend there?
Hello?
Is the Reverend there?
Yes, he's there.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, go
Hello?
ahead.
That is, yes. Where is he?
Hello? I'm an
He's
observer.
there.
I've been sent by Reverend Musindo to just observe. He's coming at 11.
At 11. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, tell him I'm waiting for him to fire him several questions. Thank you
Of
very
course,
much.
I will.
Including this situation of some bishops having the Anglican changing the evangelical situations of America, telling us different things. Chabata.
Yes, Doctor.
Philip Chabata.
Doctor, how are you?
Fine, thank you very much. And the panel welcomes you back again from your long journeys of Accra in Ghana. Tell us
Thank
something.
you. Thank you so much, Doctor, for the hard work you are doing for us and for especially for Zimbabweans. We are grateful. I was going to say thank you so much also to our friends from Zimbabwe. We have been on the panel. They are doing a good job. There are people listening. Some don't listen, but those who are listening, they are giving feedback that it is being very helpful. Let's see, how should we move forward Zimbabwe with sanctions? Doc, we sit in a country that is for one time it was the third richest country in Africa with resources. It's like the mineral resources. We are only third to Congo, which is first. Then second was Angola. Zimbabwe was third. But by now, with the gas that we have, we are even thinking and we are looking to start putting together a lot of stuff to see how far we are, how much. So how can Zimbabwe move forward? It's very simple. We are under sanctions. That's something that we will not be able to determine. The sanctions were determined by those who put them. So we need to find a way to move forward. Moving forward is we need to see where we have leverage, especially with our mineral resources. The world wants our many mineral resources. And if we put ourselves together and we plan well, and we don't even care about these sanctions, because there are many countries that are not European, neither American, who can trade with Zimbabwe. And the second thing that we have is our rich soils. Zimbabwe's farms, the soils are rich and for farming. And we can actually produce food which we can put into the whole world, even to those who have decided to be our enemies. What should we do? Some of the things have been said already by friends that have spoken. We need to have investor-friendly policies. By investor-friendly policies, we are not only looking at the Europeans and the Americans. There are other investors, say from Middle East. As I travel, and I'm one of my jobs is that I'm headquartered in Far East, and my office is in Thailand. As I travel, I am asked every day, how can we invest in Zimbabwe? How can we be involved in Zimbabwe? The only thing that we need to work on is some of the policies that are not investor-friendly, of which I had seen the government making an effort. For example, one of the best things that they tried to do was to put up the one-stop investment center, which is now called ZIDA, Zimbabwe Investment Development Agency. If it is done well, it is going to help a lot in the investment in the investment of the country. The only problem is when you bring in technocrats, some of these bureaucrats from government offices, and some people that have not been exposed to international business, they will continue to try to put in policy and things that will inhibit investors. For example, why should an investor, when he comes, fill in more than 25 forms? And we are saying we want to be investor friendly. We want to have the ease of doing business. And the other thing would be, why should we have so many people to be consulted when doing business, which is inhibiting? So the government has to look into.
Yes.
I think we have a problem with the signal.
We seem to have a problem with Philip Chabata. Thank you very much. Saxon, can you take it over from there?
Hello?
Yes, Saxon. We hear you. We hear you well, very well.
Just to add on to what Mr. Chabata is saying, our mineral resources need to be taken advantage of. We have not been investing in mineral beneficiation processes. Meaning we have been exporting minerals like platinum, not getting the real value. We need to involve ourselves in mineral beneficiation processes.
We're having a problem there with the audio. It's not very loud, so we're not able to get him clearly. If you can just, Saxon, if you can work on your audio so that you're more audible for the rest of us and our viewers as well, please.
Now? Hello?
Yes, I can hear, but the rest, let me see whether the rest are hearing.
Okay.
Yes?
So,
Go ahead.
Can you speak now?
Our education system, our
No,
graduate...
we can't hear you. I can pick you very well, but the rest can't. So, Saxon, you work on your. It is very embarrassing. We shall work on those type of things when I'm around in that country soon. So you need your audio is not very good. Okay, thank you very much, Saxon. As you work on the audio, can we have Mr. Sohuru? Mr. Sohuru, sir, how are you? Mr. Sohuru, take on. Mr. Sohuru. Okay, Professor Gerard Onyari. We recognize, we understand you.
Dr. Masanga, I want to make a brief comment before I check out. I've got an engagement at 12 noon.
All right, go ahead.
Yes.
This is a good subject. And Dr. Masanga, thank you. And I'm saying thank you. And I'm repeating thank you.
Okay.
For this engagement, for us to have a conversation and engagement with our comrades from Zimbabwe. We are true comrades. Comrades in this sense, I have no doubt in my mind there is no continent which will come to develop the continent of Africa. The continent of Africa will and shall be developed by ourselves. If someone doesn't want to become your friend, do you force yourself? Today, if you get an accident and God forbid, and you lose all your rims, does it mean life stops? We adopt and we start moving. I remember in 2013, when President Uhuru Kenyatta President Barack Obama, who is a Kenyan, he was threatening us to tell us that the choices have got consequences. President Uhuru Kenyatta said, fine. We started looking for new friends. We cannot keep on talking from 2008 up to now that we are looking for sanctions to be removed. Nobody is going to remove. And in fact, why should an America have her ambassador in Zimbabwe as if he keeps on lecturing? We don't want to tell you what to do. If he doesn't want with you, let him pack and go. You cannot put sanction and support sanction against us, and you have got an ambassador in our country. What are we getting from you? So the people of Zimbabwe, comrades, the power to take your country forward is in your hands. Look for new friends. Kenya is here. Before 1884, before the people decided to come to Africa to partition their land, to partition Africa as if it was their land, were we not moving forward? So what do we need to do?
Yeah, okay.
I agree with all the sentiments you have said, even the recommendation by Dr. Masanga. And I hope that the respective president of Africa listening is the one. It is high time that we should start adapting our new ways on how we are going to work among ourselves. This is the conversation which is going on. You have got South Africa, you have got Kenya, and we have got other countries. You look for friends. Not all people will be against you. You will have one or two. China, they accuse China of all names. They say they don't respect human rights. They don't practice democracy. But China does not meddle with internal politics of other countries. President, the Red Pope and Sangarai are all gone. Can't really stand. So what I want to say, I agree with all the recommendations being put forward. Let us try to tell the people of Africa we can work together. We can look for investors. You can look for friends. And at the end of the day, they will start coming to Africa under our terms. But so long as we keep on looking at the door which is already closed, this is more than 12 years or so, asking remove the sanctions. Let them stay with their sanctions. Let us find ways. A country which has got diamonds, a country which has got precious minerals, a country which has got good soils and good climate. I don't think why we should keep on looking at that. Let us look for new allies, new friends. That's how the world moves on. That is how international relations works in. So in terms of that black man, let me tell you, and Dr. Masanga, thank you for bringing this idea forward. Any African fellas who have gone the continent outside the continent of Africa, they go outside there and they think they have become the whites. No, they are still Africans. In fact, those whites have got no respect for them. They call them, they also are black man from Africa. So the people of Africa, the ambassador for US who is in Zimbabwe, let him know that Africa must move forward and history will come to record him very badly. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor Miriam Sore. Any information you have gathered from the headquarters before we bring in another person?
Well, not so much, except, of course, I think the president...
Across in Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta will start talking to the country at about 1 o'clock. So we shall cross over to you at about 1 o'clock, which is 12, it comes about 12:30 of Zimbabwe time. We shall bring you the speech of President Uhuru Kenyatta direct from where he is. Our satellite is able to pull him and bring him on the screen. We want to thank you, Abigail, and we want to thank Mr. Kube. Are you able to speak? Mr. S.N. Kube, are you able to speak or you are just an observer?
I'm able to speak. Apologies, Doc. I joined the meeting late. I failed to use my phone. I'm not in Nkube. Nkube is actually the madam. I had to use a laptop.
All right, but we can get you clearly, so go ahead.
Right. I just wanted to say thank you so much, Doc, for hosting this. I had a few submissions that I could have made, but since I joined late, I just wanted to say that the capacity to beat sanctions is found amongst us as Zimbabweans and found amongst us as Africans. The reason why we are under sanctions is because these people are targeting our diamonds, they are targeting our oil, they are targeting our agriculture, they are targeting our environment. So we must be able to find the solution amongst ourselves. We have the capacity to produce food that they desperately need. We have the capacity to process our minerals that they desperately need. All we need to do, like Professor Jared was just saying now, we need to come together as Africans and help each other, stand by each other, and unlock each other's potential. When we do that, we will get to a stage that the late Muammar Gaddafi wanted, where we are going to unite as Africa and say we are able to stand on our own, away with these people. Our iconic leader Mugabe once told them, keep your England and let me keep my Zimbabwe. That's the attitude that we should adopt now, because they are not going to remove these sanctions as long as we are not allowing them free access to our mineral and natural resources, as long as we're not allowing them to loot our natural resources. So the solution is found amongst us. And thank you so much for their fellow African brothers who are standing with us. Thanks, Doc, and we pray that this message should reach every African country and we begin to invest amongst each other as Africans and develop each other.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sohulu. And usually behind any good, successful man, there is a very good, successful wife. So thank you very that is why Abigail is very quiet. I don't know why Abigail is not happy today. She's usually very bubbly. What has happened today, Mom? Did you wake up properly today?
Oh, no.
So behind every successful man, there is a successful wife. And that's why, Madam,
behind a successful woman.
No. God did not start with creating you first. God created us. We are the people who came to fight before you come. So this question of gender parity, it does not work properly here.
Doctor,
it will work, but don't force it on us.
God created you first, but realized you couldn't function without us, so we're very important.
Oh, you see, there you go. Miriam has started it. But
all right,
I am only thanking Mr. Sohulu for using the mama. We call them mama.
We also call them mama.
Yes. In Uganda, in Kenya now, you don't say your girlfriend or your wife's name because people are experts of Googling. They Google the name and the face, and you are done in trouble. You will find rumors in your house. So what we have devised is either you call your wife baby or mama. For Uganda, we say baby. So no, for Kenyans say mama. So that is what happens here. Let's come to serious business. I want you to just pause for a minute and leave your equipment on the viewing mode. We want to cross over to Kenya now, where Uhuru Kenyatta is. And you can see the leader of opposition, the man who opposed Kenyatta, is speaking now. To show, I wish that Simolo Chamisa could be here to listen and see how we have changed the things in Africa. Yeah, that one there. You see, there are people that I recognize. Me, I've never recognized the Changarai. I've never. For what? Beat. For what? Welshman Kube. For what? They are useless. These are people who went and got sanctions, which are killing you. So it is Mnangagwa can give them respect, but not me. I will give them the accordance of forgiveness for having destroyed Zimbabwe. Yes, they went in Europe and asked for sanctions. You younger men don't. The younger men who eat hamburger here in South Africa, Johannesburg, and New York, and then London. Then you keep on saying Zimbabwe. These are the men you should target. These are the guys who went for sanctions. They went around the country to look for sanctions around the whole world. This is the Matanga who has been fighting Morgan Changarai until God took him. Me and the Morgan Changarai, we don't sit in one hotel. And even I hope God has separated us up there. I'm telling you today, Chabata knows my stand. Changarai, all this pancake, this guy called Pancake Moyo, those are the type of people I'm looking for. Those who have turned themselves in G40. Wacha tukutane. They threaten, they just threaten Mnangagwa all the time. But let me meet them. Let them come. Whoa. They can do that in South Africa, not here. Is Moyo writing here anymore? He hides to go to Dar es Salaam, then write. Here, write. Write in Kenya here, write a comment today and I see. And then we trace the computer that it came from Kenya. You'll be in Harare International Airport. Don't. You people are playing with these guys. They are spoiling your time. They are spoiling your future. And you younger generation, especially you section, where is Chabata? You play about, you say, oh, Shamari what? These are the Shamaris who spoil your country. They went and looked for sanctions. Was Zimbabwe not well off? Were we not coming for honeymoon in the Victoria Falls? Look at what we have done. Look at what we have destroyed in this country. And this world shaman Kube. It is Tendai Biti. Those are the people who have killed your country. The other one is gone to the Mecca. Let's meet there near the sitting room or the waiting room as we are waiting for judgment. So please, let's cross over in Kenya here. For us, we have done a good job. Raila Odinga, the leader of opposition, talks to President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, production team, switch on there and see what he's saying. Miriam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're switching there in a moment. We have switched in. All right.
Was launched here in Kisii Stadium. And we say that we must change direction. For 56 years, we have followed one direction, but with not very many results. So we need to look at what else is there which is missing. Project Kenya can move forward as envisioned by the founding fathers of our nation. United, God should bless us. We should dwell in unity, peace and liberty, and plenty should be found within our borders. From here, Your Excellency, the BBA train moved to Kakamega Ingo, then to Mombasa, then to Kitui, then to Narok, then to Garissa, then to Meru. It was only when we were supposed to be going to Nakuru, shetani ikanguka kutoka huku juu.